He was just thrashing and not latching at all. And dad had been listening to what was going on and walked over and just stuck his hands under baby's feet. And as soon as baby felt stability on his feet, he relaxed and got a deep latch. I'm Jaimie, IBCLC, and Mama 5, and this is the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast, where pregnant and new mothers learn how to prepare for and overcome breastfeeding challenges without being controlled by stress, fear, and anxiety. Each week, we'll answer your questions, share breastfeeding success stories, and inspire you to shut out the toxic whispers of the world and embrace your God-given intuition to make confident breastfeeding decisions. Let's dive in. Good morning, Mama Bear. Today, we are talking about 2 breastfeeding positions that you need to master for a deeper latch. Now, if you have been hanging around with me long enough, you know that I am all about working with your baby's design and reflexes to get a deeper, better, more comfortable, pain-free latch. Unfortunately, a lot of what we are taught about breastfeeding, whether that is just through media depictions or what the nurses in the hospital are teaching us, or what we just kind of see and pick up on, is focused on forcing our babies to do things and using very unnatural feeding positions. This is the first thing I want to talk to you about. A lot of times we are, conditioned or taught to use a cradle hold for breastfeeding. If you have listened to one of my earlier episodes, I think it might have been episode 3, Ensuring a Successful First Latch and Confident Breastfeeding, then you know that I do not love the cradle hold. I don't love the cradle hold because it is so easy for your baby to just be in really poor alignment. So, today I'm going to tell you everything you need for a great breastfeeding position and then my 2 favorite positions. So, no matter what position you use to feed your baby in, there are some things that we need to look for. And one of those things is that your baby is in proper alignment. That means your baby is body to body with you. Their belly is to your body, full frontal contact. Okay. We want to make sure that they are in good alignment, which means that their ear, shoulder, and hip are going to be in pretty much a straight line. We should not have their shoulder and hip one way with their head turned towards your breast. Likewise, we should not have their head turned towards you, their upper body turned towards you, but then their hips twisting away. That lack of alignment can make it really difficult for your baby to achieve and maintain a deep latch. And you can just go ahead and kind of try that for yourself. Like if you are eating and you kind of have yourself all twisted up, it can be harder to eat anything or to drink something. The next thing that we want to look at, we've talked about before, is your baby's chin extension. We want to make sure their chin is extended, not tucked. And the third thing that can be so important that is so often overlooked is stability for your baby's feet. People do not realize how important it is for your baby to actually feel fully stable, which means having the ability to plant their feet to feel safe. Can you imagine feeling like you're just kind of dangling and trying to support your body? That's what babies feel like when their feet are just kind of dangling when they're feeding. And when they are in a cradle position, this is often the case. So, any position where they can plant their feet and push against either your leg or a pillow, even your body, is, really helpful for them. And I'm going to highlight that by telling you a quick story about a client that I was working with in her home. And we were going over all of these tips for what helps your baby feel more stable feeding and getting in a good position. And I had mentioned about the feet. And once we got his feet stable, he started feeding better. And we were like, isn't that cool? So she went and switched sides. And when baby was, his feet were to the opposite side of me. So I couldn't see if his feet were planted. And he was just thrashing and not latching at all. And dad had been listening to what was going on and walked over and just stuck his hands under baby's feet. And as soon as baby felt stability on his feet, he relaxed and got a deep latch. And I wish I had that on video because I think it is just so cool in demonstrating how important this little adjustment can be in helping your baby feel relaxed and safe enough to feed. Because if your baby does not feel safe, they can't eat. If they don't feel safe, they're in fight or flight. If they're in fight or flight, they cannot eat. That's just how we are hardwired as humans. And babies, they don't understand the nuance of life. They don't know the difference between threat and like fake threats and real threats. They just know that they are stressed out and feel unsafe, and therefore they can't eat. So, the two positions that I love, love, love to teach moms for checking all these boxes, getting that good alignment, making sure your baby feels stable, and making it easier for them to extend their chin instead of going to like a default tucked up position is the side lying position, laying down, and the koala position, which is kind of like sitting up. You can do koala laid back, you can do koala while you're baby wearing. These are my two favorite positions. Why? First of all, they are just super supportive. When your baby is in a proper side lying or koala position, they will by default, they will be in alignment. Their full body will be against your full body, which gives them stability. Their feet have somewhere to go. If you're in side lying, their feet are going to naturally push against your thighs. And if they are in koala, their feet are going to naturally push against your body and they're going to feel stable. It also both of these positions also kind of allow you to use your body to support them instead of focusing on using your arms and hands to support them. So when your body is supporting your baby, you can use your hands and arms to maybe support their neck a little better, help ensure they're getting that chin extension, support your breast if necessary. It's just once you learn these two positions, which I'm not going to lie, they can have a bit of a learning curve, but they all do. Once you learn these two positions, mama, like, you can just feed so much more comfortably. I'm telling you, these are my two go-to positions for myself and for all of my clients. When I have a mom who is struggling to get her baby to chill out enough to get a good latch, the first thing we do is side lying. When I am working with a mom whose baby will not latch for anything in the world, side lying in the middle of the night is always where they start getting good latches. And then we progress to throughout the day and more often and with different positions. But that is always where they start figuring it out. And it's because they can relax, they can feel less stressed, less overwhelmed, and then they can actually focus on doing what they have to do. Side lying position is great for co sleeping. I am a huge advocate of co-sleeping to make sure that you are getting good sleep. And when I talk about co-sleeping, I do mean bed sharing. I absolutely mean bed sharing. You're going to get a lot of people telling you how dangerous it is. That's not true if you are following safety guidelines. And sideline breastfeeding is one of those safety guidelines. Um, Koala position is so great for babies who are struggling to latch in any other position. It is so good for babies who have reflux issues. And like I said before, if you learn how to breastfeed when baby wearing, you're essentially using a koala position. And being able to breastfeed while baby wearing is a game changer, especially if you have other small children who need your help and like you can't just lay down with your baby all the time like you want to and should be able to. This like mama koala is where it's at. Now, sometimes I'll get a baby or a mom who says their baby absolutely hates both of these positions. And I find that it's actually not that the baby hates that position, it's that the mom hasn't learned how to support them in that position quite quite right. They're still using a lot of those forceful breastfeeding techniques and they are still maybe touching the back of their head, or they're just not putting them low enough. With side lying, your baby is actually going to be pretty low against your body in relation to your body, and their chin should be tilted up toward the breast a little bit. Same with koala hold. Like if you're baby wearing, you're going to lower the baby a little bit to be able to get in that position, and you might have to support your breast up a little bit higher and I do show you how that kind of looks and how that works inside of Latching with Confidence. I have a demo of supporting the breast for a baby in a koala hold. And we have demos for different breastfeeding positions and how to make sure you're getting that alignment. That is so important. That alignment is key no matter what position you breastfeed in. So, whether you decide to use a cradle hold because that works for you, or a cross cradle, or a football hold. Even if you use some of these more traditional feeding positions, you want to be making sure you are checking those boxes of proper alignment, chin extension, and making sure their feet have stability, somewhere that they can plant them just to feel safe and stable. I hope that these breastfeeding tips helped you feel just a little bit more confident today. If you need more breastfeeding support, you can visit me at littlebearlactation.com, where you can access my Latching with Confidence class, or you can book a prenatal or postpartum one-to-one breastfeeding consult, which might even be covered by insurance. All right, Mama Bear, that is a wrap for today. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or a little more prepared for breastfeeding, can I ask you a quick favor? Go ahead and leave me a review. It helps other moms find this podcast and join us in this amazing community of fierce and confident mama bears. And hey, if you know a friend who could use some encouragement or real talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and all things motherhood, share this episode with her. You've got this, Mama Bear. Trust your instincts, stay fierce, and I'll catch you in the next episode.